If we create a test and you flunk, it's like, sorry. If you can't pass this test, how are you going to pass this other test? How are you going to pass the test of death? See? The final exam. This is a school. This life is like a college. It's a school. And the teacher or the headmaster or the president of the college is God. Okay? And he determines the curriculum. I'm just a teacher. I just work here. I follow the curriculum that God has created. Okay? But I have to administer the tests. See? This is a thankless task. I have to administer the tests to see if you actually got the material. If you pass the course or you don't. See? Because if you don't pass Esoteric Teaching 101, how are you going to pass the final exam at the time of death? If you can't get past me and Uddhava and Navayovana, Anandavardhana and Kanai, if you can't get past our scrutiny on the website and, fill out your profile properly and interact nicely with the other students, how are you ever going to become a devotee? You got to get past that. You got to be able to follow the instructions well enough to get past that test. How are you going to follow instructions well enough to get past the final? See, it's like one step at a time. This first test is very easy. The next one's a little harder. The next one after that is even harder. The next one's harder than that, and then so on, all the way until it gets like really tough. So in the beginning, spiritual life seems very, very slow. It seems like, oh, I'm doing all this work and I'm making such slow progress. And the reason for that is that you're maintaining attachments to things and activities that are slowing down your spiritual progress. It's a test. We tell you, you have to give up this nonsense. Right? We tell you right from the beginning, this is nonsense. Give it up. And people say, well, I'll chant, but then I'll do this, and I'll keep this thing, and then I have this other thing. And maybe, I'll keep the back door open to go back to my old friends and my old ways, and all this nonsense. See, do you think Kṛṣṇa doesn't see that? I may not see it. I'm just human. But do you think Kṛṣṇa is missing that? No way. See? Kṛṣṇa is like, the president of the university has spy cams in all the dorms, you see. He knows what's going on. Your teacher may not know what's going on, but Kṛṣṇa knows what's going on. So my job is just to say, okay, these are the requirements, these are the specifications, these are the instructions. Now, we're going to have a quiz. Who's buried in Grant's tomb? If you can't answer that question, how are you going to answer the question at your final exam when you have to confront Kṛṣṇa directly? The questions he's going to ask are a lot tougher than the ones I'm going to ask. See? So you have to get past me first. You have to pass the test of the spiritual master. You have to be perseverant enough to make it through that, or you're never going to make it the rest of the way. So we weed them out. There's only a very few devotees who are qualified to instruct. So we have to concentrate our energy and time on the people who are actually willing to accept instruction. If I'm trying to instruct a bunch of people who don't want to be taught, well, why should I waste my time? I want to see that, okay, at least you are teachable. Then I'll spend my time and energy on you. Otherwise, I don't have time. I have all these other students I have to take care of. Maybe better luck next time, next lifetime, or whatever. It's up to you. If you're perseverant enough to get through those tests, then maybe, just maybe, you have what it takes to go all the way. that's what this is all about. So the next one is renunciation. We've talked about renunciation a million times. You already know that. Peacefulness. Only a devotee can be peaceful. Everybody else, their mind is agitated. Because, as we've talked about so many times, they have multiple goals, multiple desires. And these desires are all in conflict with one another. So how can they be peaceful? They have enemies in their own house. They have, within their own mind, desires that conflict with one another. What to speak of people who are supposed to be friends, or supposed to be in relationships, or supposed to be in families and like that, but they all have some conflicting desires and purposes. So how can they be peaceful? They're always going to be competing with one another, always going to be contending with one another. I want this. No, I want that. Well, let's go here. No, let's go over there. What kind of life is that? Always bickering and fighting. It means that we all want to be in charge. We all want to imitate Kṛṣṇa and be the enjoyer and the controller and the doer and the knower and all that. The owner, and so many things. But those are only for Kṛṣṇa. Those roles are not for us. Our role is to be the servant, is to be the follower, is to be the enjoyed. Not the enjoyer, but the enjoyed. Not the controller, but the cooperator. And cooperate with Kṛṣṇa's program. If we do that, then we find that we're peaceful. See? I mean, I don't know how many times, especially when I was in India, people would come up to me and say, "Wow, you're so peaceful. You have got the peace of mind." And I say, "Yes, I have a peace of mind. You want a piece of my mind? I'm going to tell you." Chant Hare Krishna. I say, you want a peace? Chant Hare Krishna. Oh, I am so busy, I cannot chant. I have family and job and all this. Well, how long do you spend on the train every day going to work? Oh, 1 hour, 2 hours. Well, why don't you just chant on the train? But. There's always some but. And then they wonder why they're not peaceful. Why they're not happy. Because of your butt. I mean, if you want to if you want to play games, go down to the soccer field, go down to the baseball field, go bowling or something like that. But this is not about playing games. So when you get these instructions from Kṛṣṇa, everything we're saying, we have backed up by quotes from Shastra. We're not making anything up. This is all coming from Kṛṣṇa. We're just repeating Kṛṣṇa's message, repeating Kṛṣṇa's instructions, right? We say, surrender to a spiritual master, right? It's not that we made that up, but Kṛṣṇa says it right in Bhagavad Gita. Because you want to know the truth? Find a spiritual master, surrender unto him, offer him service and inquiries, and he'll show you the truth, because he's seen the truth. That's my representative, the spiritual master. You must accept the spiritual master if you want to get out of this material world. Kṛṣṇa says that. Ebigachati. He said, you must do it. It's not optional. It's not nice if you want to do it. No, you must do it. Eva bigachati. Eva means certainly, and abhigachati means you must do it. You have to do it. I'm not saying that. Kṛṣṇa is saying that. If you want to get out of here, you have to follow Kṛṣṇa's program. It's not my program. I didn't come up with this. I'm just repeating what Kṛṣṇa is saying. It's not that I have a business somewhere and I'm taking all these disciples and making some business or something like that. That's crazy. I don't know why people resist, we're trying to help them. but it's because of false ego. So if they want to be peaceful, then the next thing is simplicity. Simplicity means no diplomatic dealings. Simplicity means you have one purpose, you have one goal, and you do whatever is necessary to attain that goal. You're not acting at cross purposes with yourself. You're not keeping the back door open to go back to your friends or back to your family or back to your whatever your previous nonsense was. You're like committed. You're on the path. Your aim is one. And you're just doing all your service in pure consciousness, and there's no holding back. There's no withholding. There's no deception. There's no secrecy. Everything's open.